Here is some critical evidence regarding the weather conditions which have been deliberately brought on the islands of Tonga and surrounding areas of Australia. And I believe it's called Winston. It's a category 4 hurricane which is taking place live now. Today's date is the 16th of February and UK time is 7:49. Now, as I play this forward, notice north of Australia, this area here, you will see that we've got a circle start developing here. As we move this forward, you will see an anomaly to appear. There was a circle here previously, but let me move this forward. It's starting to be created here, north of Australia. Okay, now that will cause a rotation. That burns out. There will be a second area which then starts. This is being affected here, and you will see a very large anomaly start to appear. There, it started as a first single beam there, and then it goes forward. Now, these are atmospheric heaters and electromagnetic frequencies generated from the island of Guam, which I will show you. But you can see what this is. We're concerned about this hurricane that's now being generated deliberately from a US Air Force base, and I'll show you the equipment. And that heater then starts to dissipate, and it will cause a left rotation. Now, they deliberately affect the jet stream, because if you look off the Gulf of Mexico here, there's other equipment here that they use, and as it goes forward, you see this anomaly here, and this affects the whole of the jet stream. There's another anomaly here, and now this is bringing in a weather front affecting the ionization of the atmosphere and affecting your weather. This is deliberate, and there's a reason for this. So you see that there, that starts to dissipate and another beam comes here. They are linking all the world weather systems and taking full control under Agenda 21 under the excuse of climate change. So there it is, bang, there and there. This is affecting your weather deliberately, because you've just had a visitor from Sweden talking about global warming and climate change. If you take monies from this, they will constantly take full control over your authority and rights on the islands. And this is why we can say what we've just said. This is February the 14th, we're going to the 15th and the 16th. Now, if you look previously, when these were hitting, you can actually see the changes in the atmosphere here. These are electromagnetic frequencies which affect the cloud formations here. This is not natural. It's 100% man-made. And this is another giveaway sign. All these frequencies in the atmosphere are what they use to manipulate the vapor, the ionization, and create the windstorms which bring in hurricanes like this Winston. And here is some of the evidence of totally unnatural wind changes and how you can see this being folded round. This is totally deliberate when you're getting ionization and how they affect the atmosphere with this equipment. Now, I'm going to show you an island which is capable of changing the wind directions and affecting the precipitation of the Tonga Islands. This is the island of Guam, which is north of Australia and has hundreds of millions of pounds worth of equipment that at disposal of the US Air Force and the US government. Just have a look at some of the areas here that they've got. Some of it's for secrecy of information and security, but these NEXRADs are known to affect the atmosphere with their generated frequency of Doppler radar and electromagnetic fields, which is used to deliberately manipulate the weather. Now, if you look at the size of these are cars. These are massive, and they are very, very powerful. And guess what? The island of Guam was originally set up as a weather modification base many, many years ago, and they now have billions of pounds worth of equipment here for use of weather modification and other purposes. But the equipment is all over this island, all over. Much of equipment here. You've got rows of them here, all capable of changing not only the weather but the world's climate. And there's more. There's other ground-based electromagnetic frequency transmitters, which you've got one here, and some of the underground which are ELF, very low frequency. But everywhere on this island you look, you will see the equipment which can be used to manipulate the weather in the South Pacific. Now, I know there's just been a meeting in Tonga from Sweden, and I'm sure perhaps you appreciate the visit of this, but that was on Tuesday, February the 16th. But the main agenda to this is they're going to say that global warming and climate change, the world needs to take control both of people and their countries to manage global warming and climate change. It's a fake, it's a false situation they've created. Now, I was shocked when I read and hear they are saying that we are committed to fighting climate change and saving the ocean. And there is meetings. This is going to bring in the United Nations, and as they've said there, they're talking about rising sea levels. There is no rising of sea level. But what was worrying is they want to look at the situation is when people lose their homes, or they are saying that storms are creating problems with climate change, that they will rehouse the people from the islands and welcome them elsewhere. They want to take over your islands. I can't stress this enough. And this was mentioned here in the paragraphs. As it says there. Otherwise, the world will also need to welcome the people if they can't stay on or in their own country. During the 4-day visit to Tonga, Mrs. Loving and her 9 members delegation, they visited some trial coastal protection projects. They're trying to be angels of help, and they're going to hijack everything that you stand for.